Hello, my beautiful Aries. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing amazing. In today's video, I will be tapping into the energies of your love life. So it's going to be your general love reading for the week here. So pretty much whatever comes out for you guys. Okay. Okay, so we have two cards here. The first one being Coriander in the category of honoring self. So these cards have both a trigger statement and a truth statement. So the trigger statement reads, "This is the way it has always been done." Truth statement, "I create my way." You are ready to fulfill your desires by thinking outside the box. The path less traveled may be more fulfilling. Okay. And then we have cleansing. So the trigger statement reads, "Their opinion matters to me." True statement, "I see things in a new way." And this card, it reads, "I create my way." So there's a persistent message here. And then it says, as you release external influences and energy, you will become clear with regard to what is needed. This could be a week where you're making a very important decision about a person or a connection, but you're not wanting to be influenced by the opinion of others. For others of you, it could be a connection where you feel like there are some sort of external influences that are not really in your control, but they are impacting the connection here. So whether it's you feel like things have always been the same when it comes to this connection, whether you feel like there's always been like a very consistent obstacle or someone else that was in the way of this connection here. It does read, the second card, as you release external influences and energy, you will become clear with regard to what is needed. So there may be, an energy where you are releasing control or maybe surrendering when it comes to this connection, and it's resulting in clarity here. But I also am feeling called to tell you, Aries, that you have more control in a situation than you think you do, or you have more power in a situation than you think you do. And I don't mean that in like a controlling or entitled way, but I do mean it in a way where it's like if you're feeling defeated or powerless, like you do have what it takes to change your current circumstances, or at least take yourself out of a situation that is causing you to feel that way. Even if it feels difficult to do, it's not impossible to do, is pretty much what I'm getting at here. So let's see what's going on. Okay, so we have the Eight of Swords on the bottom of the deck, and we have the Nine of Swords. Wow. Someone is really stressed out this week, Aries. Like when it comes to you, when it comes to the connection, Eight of Swords and the Nine of Swords could be a very difficult energy to deal with, especially because you're thinking about something constantly, but you also feel some sort of mental restrictions. Kind of like, I can't stop thinking about Aries, or I can't stop thinking about this connection, but I'm also unsure of what to do next, or I feel like I can't really act on my emotions in the current moment. Eight of Swords is mental restrictions, or in some cases, it could be something that's going on in this person's environment that they're like, okay, this is impacting the connection, but how do I, put an end to this? But this is someone who's definitely losing sleep over this connection. It could be a week where they don't feel like themselves. The Nine of Swords could even just touch on like loss of appetite or not enjoying the things that you usually enjoy. Okay, so I'm going to start off by seeing how you're being viewed this week. Some of you could be dealing with an air sign, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. High Priestess for how they're viewing you. Some of you could be dealing with the Pisces. They can't seem to figure you out this week, Aries. Whether it's you're in like a no contact situation, or, it could be that you are communicating with this person, but it's not as consistent. For some of you, they're trying to attain information about you, or they're trying to figure you out, but you're like, this could be a week where you're not necessarily publicizing anything. Even if you are someone who usually posts on social media, or, you kind of publicize whatever it is that you're experiencing. Like, this could be a week where they feel like you're very isolated, or you're just keeping to yourself. Because what I see is someone who's very curious about you, but they don't feel like they're receiving the clarity or information or the answers that they're seeking. Okay. They're also viewing you as someone who's very observant, almost to the point where you know more than you show. So, whether that's the truth or this is just something that they're assuming, they feel like there's something here that or you've figured out about them or this connection, but you're just not, choosing to share it with them, or you're not, opening up about it. So definitely a strong energy of, Aries knows something, or Aries knows more than they show. And they are viewing you in a bit of a withdrawn energy, or you're not as social as you usually are, or they don't have a way of figuring out what you're up to. It's almost like a very closed off energy, or there's some sort of a guard that you have up here when it comes to this person, is how they're viewing you. So we have the Seven of Wands followed by the Eight of Cups in the challenge position. This is very specific, okay, guys? But I'm strongly getting an energy of someone that you're like not speaking to, or you guys are speaking to each other, but that emotional component is, I don't want to say it's missing, but there's a block there. Okay. And the reason I say that is for the Seven of Wands and the Eight of Cups to come up in the challenge position, it's someone who has walked away from this situation. Maybe for some of you, it's a case of ghosting, but it's looking back and still being concerned about you, even though there's some sort of emotional distance between the both of you. And Eight of Cups is like detaching from a situation or walking away because ultimately you feel like there's something that's missing. And there's something here that's not fulfilling. But because it's coming up in the challenge position, you may have someone here who's like reevaluating their decisions, or feeling like they could have worked something out with you instead of choosing to walk away or resort to silent treatment. Because I do feel like there's a separation, whether it's you that walked away, whether it's this person that walked away, that's not the point. The point I'm trying to make is they feel that even though they've walked away or they detached, they're still focused on you. So there's an energy of backtracking and asking themselves, did I really make the right decision? Because I'm still thinking about Aries. Is there something more that I could have done? Right? Was there something else that was left for me to do instead of just choosing to walk away or resort to not speaking at all? And this thought also causes them to feel very defensive with the Seven of Wands energy. Like there's something here that they strongly believe. So whether it's something they communicated, whether it's something that they, told you was a deal breaker, they're still standing by that. Because the Seven of Wands is, standing your ground, or standing your ground even during a time of adversity. But with the Eight of Cups, I will say they're like reevaluating, or they're thinking about a decision that they've made in the past. And they're like, was that the right decision? How are you viewing them? The Chariot, you're viewing them as someone who is moving forward, or you're viewing them as someone who has moved on from this connection. It could just be letting me know that you're acknowledging the emotional distance between the both of you. For some of you, in terms of, or you viewing the connection in the Chariot card, there could be something that you're accepting or starting to understand about this person or this connection this week. Kind of having like a full circle moment, or something is making sense to you in the now that was possibly very confusing for you in the past here. Some of you could be dealing with a Cancer. But it's interesting because like there's a silence here. They're viewing you as someone they can't figure out. You're viewing them as someone who's moving forward. But in the challenge position, in the mutual energy, you have someone here who's reevaluating their decision. Someone that you're viewing as moved on, but it's not over for them. Or even if you're not communicating with them, they're still thinking about you. And they're still focused on what you're doing, hence why they're trying to figure you out, but they feel like they can't. Maybe some of you quite literally could have blocked this person, so they have no way of figuring out what you're up to. Or if that's not the case, maybe you're just not, publicizing everything that you're doing. Maybe you're not, there's no outlet here where, this person could kind of figure out what you're dabbling in or how you're feeling, especially because there's a lack of communication as well. Some of you, could have, like, there could have been some sort of subliminal hints between the both of you in the past. But that could be something that you were becoming very impatient with, or you just became tired of the, subliminal hints back and forth. So that could have been something that you put an end to. But that may have been the only way of this person knowing how you're feeling while they're not communicating with you. So now that you're choosing not to take part in that either, that's what's resulting in confusion or a lack of clarity on their end. So in your feelings, we have the Page of Pentacles followed by the Queen of Cups. You may be receiving an opportunity to express how you feel or express your perspective on things when it comes to this connection. The Queen of Cups could also be like, like a heart-to-heart conversation. That's why I do say, like, maybe there's something on your mind. There's something that, you've been feeling, and you're receiving the opportunity with the Page of Pentacles to communicate that to this person. Now, Page of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, it's two very different energies. So I can't help but wonder, do some of you feel that there is a difference in, the maturity levels when it comes to you and this person? It could be that you feel the way you express yourself or you express your emotions is very different from how this person, expresses themselves. But for others of you, you kind of view this person as still learning something, or maybe viewing them as a little less experienced, in comparison to you. And I don't say that in a judgmental way, but you could be feeling like, okay, well, there's something that this person still needs to learn. Or you may find that while connecting with this person, there are certain things that you find yourself explaining to this person that you wish, or that you feel like they should have just kind of known on their own, or you wish they were able to figure that out on their own. So we have the Justice card in your feelings and the Judgment, Scorpion energy, as well as Libran energy here. Judgment is some sort of divine intervention. If, it could be a decision that is being made, something that is occurring, and you feel like you don't have control over it, or there's nothing you can do to avoid it. But judgment is also waking up to what is, right? It's a wake-up call. It's like, okay, if I'm not happy in the current moment, or this has been something I've been dealing with for, time and time again, I feel ready to remove myself from the equation. With the Justice card, it could be wanting to do something the right way, restoring some sort of balance in this connection, especially if you're revisiting something and it feels very unfair to you. But I'm also getting an energy of like, you're tired of avoiding something, or you're tired of pretending that everything is okay when it's not. So whether it's you feel like you're dealing with an individual that kind of likes to sweep things under the rug, or you feel like there has been an ongoing issue between the both of you, but it's not necessarily being addressed, you're becoming very tired of leaving that, issue as is. You want a solution here. There could be a little bit of a jittery feeling, kind of like I want to find a solution, or I want to communicate and I want to do it now. And that could be stemming from a space of you genuinely just feeling very impatient or growing impatient with the situation here. This is specific. It's not going to resonate with all of you, but the Judgment and the Justice card could also touch on some sort of illegal matters pertaining to this connection. Okay. Page of Cups clarifying the Seven of Wands. And the Seven of Cups clarifying the Eight of Cups. Yeah, this is someone who's confused about their decision to walk away. It's almost like, if I made the right decision, right, and I moved away from something, or I detached, why am I still thinking about it? Right? Why am I still revisiting the past here? And the Page of Cups is someone who is still admiring you, but admiring you from afar. What's interesting is the Seven of Cups touches on, it could be mixed signals. It also touches on illusions, something that may seem real, but it's not. That's not the reality of the situation, or it's not actually real. And the Page of Cups in traditional tarot, right? There's like a fish that comes out of the cup that he's holding, and that is symbolic for your imagination. So when I read the Page of Cups with the Seven of Cups hand in hand, it's a strong energy of, is what I'm thinking about Aries the truth, or is it all in my mind? There's something here, an illusion that this person is having a very difficult time seeing past. Whether it's a situation seems more complicated in their mind, whether it's they're jumping to some sort of assumptions about you and it's not the truth, but it's what they're, beginning to believe because there's a lack of communication between the both of you. I think that this is someone who's feeling very confused, trying to make sense of this situation in their mind, but it's only leading to more confusion. And Seven of Cups clarifying the Eight of Cups, Aries, could also be someone who feels like they were keeping their options open, or they walked away in order to explore their options. But they're backtracking, or they're still focused on you, which is why it's leading to, did I make the right decision? Was it worth it to walk away and, view my other options if these options don't compare to what I have experienced with Aries? I think this person does want to speak to you. I think they do want to reach out to you with the Page of Cups, but that is, it's more of like a lighthearted energy. And the reason why it's a difficult energy to deal with is there's a lot of confusion here. There's a lot of what if, or they're thinking about something in their mind and it's not the reality of the situation. And so this person could be waiting for like the dust to settle, or they could be waiting to see something more clearly prior to, reaching out here. So this could be a week where, they just feel like their emotions are all over the place and they're feeling bombarded with so many different thoughts and feelings. Ace of Swords in their feelings, okay. And the Hierophant, wow. Some of you could be dealing with a Taurus. They're receiving clarity on this connection with you. This is definitely someone who has a higher level of commitment on their mind. But this card also touches on like, your belief system. It also touches on maybe your perspective on relationships and what you're wanting versus theirs. So there's something deeper than just the, like surface level things that they're thinking about here. I also feel like with the Ace of Swords, they're praying for a breakthrough, wanting a change, or wanting the opportunity to communicate with you or express their truth. We have the Two of Cups and the Empress. Wow. Some of you could have been in a higher level of commitment with this person in the past. But what I'm seeing here, Aries, with the Two of Cups and the Empress, I mean, this is someone who feels extremely strongly towards you. And this is why there's a persistent message of, why did I walk away? Or I'm still thinking about you during a period of separation. They still see the potential here. This is a week where they're reminded of some sort of promises that they've made you in terms of the future of this connection or the growth that they wanted to experience with you. And the Two of Cups is a strong energy of someone who feels like they are still very much in love with you. It also touches on listening to your higher self, a direction that you're being guided in. And they want to feel closer to you or move closer to you. But when you look at the challenge position, it's whether it's this person feels like they have to come back around and go back on their word, or it's someone who wants to reconnect with you, but they're not sure if they can, if that door is going to open for them again. But they feel they've received the clarity on the connection that you guys share, even if it's something that they did not have clarity on in the past. And right, and keep in mind, right, guys, like where this person is receiving clarity on how they feel about you or what they want in a connection with you, but they're still not sure of where you stand. They're still having a hard time figuring you out. So we have the Three of Swords followed by the Nine of Cups in the potential outcome. Someone who wants to clear up confusion, someone who wants to heal some sort of heartbreak. And I will say, guys, like this is someone who feels very torn when it comes to their decision. They feel very hurt when they think about this connection, but they're still viewing you as wish fulfillment or someone who makes them very happy with the Nine of Cups here. There is a feeling, or it could be the way that you guys connect with each other, that they could even be comparing to other connections in their life, There's something very different about the way that you guys connect with each other. The Three of Swords is being clarified by the Six of Wands, Nine of Cups, the Fool card. They want a new beginning. They want a successful new beginning. They want to be able to rise above the situation that you guys are currently going through. This is someone who wants to come in, fix something with you, but they don't want the past to resurface. They don't want this separation or something that you guys are disagreeing on to constantly resurface as you guys are trying to move forward. The Fool card is like turning over a new leaf here. And with the Six of Wands, I'm strongly getting someone who's going to do something to grab your attention, Aries, right? Whether it's hinting something at you, whether it's reaching out to you, it's like an energy of standing out from the rest. But I'm strongly getting someone who wants your attention this week, okay? So let's see. What do they want to communicate to Aries? I know I messed up everything, so there's definitely regret here, and I think I was touching on that throughout the reading, specifically regret for like walking away because it seemed easier in the moment. Then it says finding out the truth crushed me, so there could be some sort of truth that came to light for this person that you know, absolutely crushed them, or it caused a lot of hurt with the Three of Swords. I hide my feelings. So some of you feel like this person is not really expressive, or even, you know, leading up to the separation, there was a lack of expression on why they felt the way that they did or how they were feeling at all. This could be someone who struggles with emotional intimacy. Anything else they want to communicate? I want you. There's a deep desire for you. That's why I feel like they're returning. We have the Two of Cups and the Empress in their feelings. Six of Wands in the potential outcome, wanting a successful outcome between the both of you. And bottom of the deck, it says, so many things remind me of you. Okay. So that is what I'm getting for you guys this week. I really do hope you were able to find a message that resonated with you here today. And thank you so much for your time.